Welcome to another Ballin and Burgundy podcast. My name is Justin. Many of you know me. I'm DC underscore Justin.
What's going on, guys? It's Jonathan once again at non-pro_10.
We have some thrilling, crazy news about our very toxic owner,
Yep.
or about to be the ex-owner, Daniel Snyder.
Hopefully, guys, let's get right into this. If you guys didn't tune in, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whether it was Twitter, YouTube, news, the DC, the District of Columbia Attorney General, is suing the Washington Commanders franchise, owner Dan Snyder, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, and the NFL itself for a variety of things. I'm going to pull this up straight for you guys. Just give me 1 second because it is crazy. Not that. This. I'm going to put this over here. So, the Attorney General is suing Snyder, the Commanders, Roger Goodell, and the NFL for allegedly colluding to deceive fans and residents about the league's investigation into the team's toxic workplace culture, which has been alluded to a plethora of times over the years, and allegations of sexual assault in an effort to maintain a strong fan base and increase profits. I don't see an issue with this. I think it's about time someone strongholded and said, hey, this isn't happening. Attorney General Carl Racine, forgive me for the botch. He said we will issue subpoenas, seek testimony under oath, and threw a little jab. And when talked about, his Snyder's virtual depositions back in July, he said not likely to occur on a yacht, but in a conference room in the District of Columbia. He is pulling no punches, and I am all for it.
Agreed, but I'm a little iffy. I mean, that's going to hurt us. It
Absolutely.
already has hurt us. The damage is basically done. But the NFL took this way more seriously when the complaints were made
Yep.
about this, that back in the 2010s. I think where the first complaint was made for our organization. They should
Yep.
have done something. But even 5 years ago, Dan should have been forced to sell the team with
Oh
all
yeah.
these complaints, and the NFL just shook it off. There's probably some hush mush money. It's annoying because the team would have been sold probably 5, 10 years ago when
Oh yeah.
the first couple complaints, and the NFL didn't do a true investigation. Now, not only Snyder's being sued, our organization,
Yep.
Roger Goodell, all
And
being
the
sued.
and the league itself.
Yep.
And guys, this isn't some like, lower tier, lawsuit company, or this isn't some like civilian. This is the Attorney General of the Washington District of Columbia.
Top of the top.
It is cap this is a guy that's probably on Capitol Hill multiple times a year, handles some of the biggest cases, whether it's in DMV and in DC. So that he announced that he is suing the franchise, the owner, the league, and the league's commissioner, four people of power, one organization, one worldwide known brand and business is huge. But this isn't what ruffled my feathers. What ruffled my feathers was a little over 24 hours ago is when he announced yesterday. This is now we're recording this on Thursday night, so you'll see this Friday. So the Office of the Attorney General put out a memo on Wednesday saying we will have an announcement Thursday, November 10th, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, regarding the Washington Commanders. You want to know what our spokesperson said, or one of them said around, I believe it was 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time? Some big old bullshit. Guys, This is what it says. Less than 3 months ago, a 23-year-old player on our team was shot multiple times in broad daylight. This is referring to former Alabama running back Brian Robinson Jr. on the attempted carjacking, and he got shot twice in the leg back in August, right? Despite the out-of-control violent crime in D.C., today the Commanders learned for the first time on Twitter, the D.C Attorney General will be holding a press conference to make a major announcement related to the organization tomorrow. That ruffled my feathers so badly.
Agreed. What?
Oh. Go ahead.
No, I said agreed. Why are we going to talk about Robinson being shot? It's like everything happens to us, they have to put some side story to get everybody's mind. Like the Sean Taylor memorial.
Yes.
That was when Daniel had another allegation or whatever. So he was hush hush. Let's go ahead and honor Sean, which I didn't feel they truly honored Sean the right way.
No.
And don't even get me started on Jackson Mahomes.
Don't get me
clown.
Mahomes.
He's a clown using his brother's money.
He is a light-skinned AB, just less talented.
And less crazy.
Less crazy. But then, guys, so they put out that. There was more to that statement, but that's what caught people's eye. What I'm pulling up here is what Jason Wright had to do was damage control. He said, I spoke to the Chief Conti, conveying how much we support the work of the Maryland Police Department, as well as public safety leaders and elected officials working to reduce gun violence and crime across the region. The earlier statement expressed our external counsel's ongoing frustration with the AG's office, as they have been nothing but earnest and transparent in their communications with his team. The lawyer's legitimate frustration with the AG should be separate and apart from referencing the terrible crime affected by our player. Damage control.
Basically trying to cover up
what
was said. And he did it the best way he could.
Look,
God bless him.
I don't blame Jason Wright here. I don't think he's in the fault. He's literally being played like a fiddle. He's the barrier between Snyder and us rioting in there and taking Snyder for ourselves. Or SWAT going in, taking Dan by force, which I would agree with. The spokesperson had no right, zero right, to reference Ron Robinson's shooting and their frustration in saying, we just learned of this announcement. If they had just come out and said, we have now been alerted to the fact that the Attorney General will have a press conference at 1 p.m. tomorrow regarding our organization, and we stand wholeheartedly with the decisions that have been made, and we still support. If they had said something along those lines, there'd be no outrage. It would just be the announcement and be done. But because they put that out, disgraceful, appalling, and damn near hellacious.
Agreed. And a lot of, as you saw, Benjamin St. Just, he made a pretty good comment about that.
Yes, he did. I will see if I can go find that. Yep, I have that right here. I will pull this up for you guys. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to keep pulling these up so you guys can see it for your own eyes. So this is what Benjamin St. Just said to a French translator who is with the team regarding this statement. This has been since translated by Scott Jennings and reported on by Mark Bullock, so reported officials. And I quote, since I arrived here, it's been a dark cloud over our organization. Every time there's something good happening on the pitch, something bad is happening off of it. It would give us great energy to have a fresh start and regain the confidence of the fans.
Basically saying, Dan, get the fuck out of here and sell the team.
Yep.
Literally. And it makes me... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It makes me wonder, are the players even playing to their best abilities? Like, these players at times, look really good. Like, versus the Vikings, that was a hell of a game.
Yeah.
I mean, the outcome was terrible. It was a BS, but we'll let that slide for right now.
Yeah.
But it just makes you wonder if this organization had a new start with Dan leaving.
Yeah.
Will these guys step up and be what we all think they're going to be?
Yeah. If you guys are part of our Instagram, is I went live hours after the game because I'd gone up, got the hoodie, got the scarf, or I got the hat, got the scarf. I was there. I met up with Justin, met up with Rio, met up with ProTech Sports, some of our sponsors. Shout out to them. Great game. Bullshit calls from the refs.
Yep, amazing how the Rams got away with that.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
30 minutes later. NFL, I hope you're watching. NFL stands for not for long, so fix your officials.
Well, NFL stands for no fun league, but that's besides the point. It's ridiculous. Is these guys be could playing all pros? Literally, the only person I think is going to get an all pro nod right now is Jonathan Allen. I think he's the only one that's going to get it.
I don't know. Terry McLaurin's really saved our tails many times.
Terry has saved us, but I don't compare to guys like Jay Jettas, Waddle, Hill, Cooper Kupp, guys like that. Terry's going to be in the running, yes, but I think Allen's going to be a solid all-pro nod regardless. But they could be playing so much better, so much enthusiasm. When was the last time y'all heard from the Rams, the Giants, the Buccaneers outside of Brady? Like, when the Chiefs, the Bills, like, when was the last time y'all heard news that affected the players on the field every day for the past, let's call it, decade? I can't recall.
Nope.
We're the only one. Like Ben St. Just said, every time something good happens, a bad thing hits right there. What's the old saying? For every reaction, there's an opposite, or for every action, there's an opposite reaction.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. That's literally Washington. Let's say for every great draft pick we have, there's another allegation.
Yeah.
For every great game we have, there's a bad press conference.
Yep. Well, thinking back, the last one was who was it? Chip Kelly with the Philly,
Probably, yeah.
where he had a bunch of racist allegations on him from the team.
Yeah.
That was the last one, but that lasted a year and it got resolved pretty quick. He was fired pretty quick.
Like real quick.
Later on that year.
Like, yeah, there's been like instances like Drew Brees saying, I never will support kneeling for the flag. That was his opinion, talking about solely him, and he got dragged through the mud. Yes, there have been numerous cases against whether it's Ray Rice, AB, but it never affected the team as a whole. It never affected from management to the front office to the players on the field to the coaches in the locker room to the even the janitors and the interns don't have this dark cloud hovering over them. But we do. We do. And
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's always us, but like I said earlier, it's going to get really, really nasty before the outcome turns really, really good.
Yep. I say this still has another year. Like, Dan's going to sell the team in the next 6 months. I think it's a guarantee by now. But this news is still going to be going on for the next year, I'd say.
Well, probably the next 5 years. I mean, real quick, Daniel Snyder, March. I think it's March 13th or somewhere that week. They have a league meeting, and hopefully they have whoever they're choosing or whoever bids the most to be the next Commanders owner to get voted in, which has to be appointed during the March whatever the week.
Yeah,
owner meeting.
Yeah. Now that's still 4 months away though.
Yeah, but I mean, real quick, I mean, you have to think, depending on who the owner is, they have to, get all their clearances, this, that, follow, have to go through the league rules, all the policies, this and that. But also the whole Snyder, Bruce Allen, it's going to go on for another 5 to 10 years. Oh, look, you went to Washington,
Yep.
there used to be a crappy place, or a change is going to take a good 5 to 6 years in an ownership standpoint, depending on what owner we get.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's going to be a good one.
Hopefully it's gonna be a good one. The leading bid right now is the group of Jeff Bezos, Jay-Z, and now Matthew McConaughey. So an actor, a rapper, and the CEO of Amazon are the leading bid right now. I believe $7 billion is what they're going to offer. We're worth 5.5, 5.6, I believe, from Forbes. But it's the DMV, it's DC, it's
historical franchise.
Been around since 1932.
Yeah, I did see a rumor it could go anywhere between $7 billion and $9 billion. And Kevin Durant's another person to look out for. Apparently, he wants lifelong or Skins fan looking at making a bed.
Yeah. Katie's been a lifelong Washington fan. He and Terry met up during the Nets. Was the Nets and the Washington? What's the basketball team? Wizards.
Wizards.
The Wizards. Yeah. So he got I think it was a signed Terry jersey. Like Terry went there, gave it to him, and everything. So Katie's another name to watch for, and it's not that I don't welcome it, but it's who's going to be the right fit, which is always the issue.
Definitely not the trio that's trying to, I don't think that it's the best. My opinion is this: I'm not a fan of that because Bezos, about a couple, I don't know, 5, 8 years ago, he's the leader in Amazon.
Yep.
The big boss. Apparently, they had a warehouse hit by a tornado, and it killed like 6 to 8 employees. He didn't take it seriously. He thought he didn't give two craps about it. And that's somebody I don't want in its organization.
Right.
If you know what I mean. That's one of the examples why I don't want those two to win. Now I don't know the other guy, comedian.
Oh, you're talking about Jay-Z and Matthew McConaughey?
No, not Jay-Z. I'm talking about the guy who's bidding. That's a trio. There's another guy. What's his name?
Another guy. Oh, there's a few.
Yeah, we have 3 or 4. The Red Sox owner, not him, John Henry. He's reportedly.
So we have Byron Allen,
Byron Allen.
Is a media mogul. We have Josh Harris, a billionaire, private equity investor and philanthropist. He's the principal owner of the New Jersey Devils in the NHL and the Philadelphia 76ers of the NBA. So okay. He tried to bid for the Broncos but failed. We have Matt Ishba, my apologies. Chairman and CEO of a mortgage lender out of Michigan, but worth a good amount. Robert Smith was interested in buying the Broncos but failed. David Blitzer, partner with Josh Harris, who didn't work out for the Broncos. There's a few on here. And I mean, founder and chairman of Dell Technologies, Michael Dell, is on here. Matthew McConaughey. I mean, there's a good amount of names that some are warranted, some have made their money, and some are gonna be a group in bit. Who will see?
Yeah, hopefully this, definitely the end of Dan, but hopefully it's not a Dan 2.0 owner.
But hopefully, guys, hopefully this is the end of Snyder in the NFL. Hopefully this leads to a long and fruitful reign under a new owner. And hopefully this leads to a long and fruitful reign as whether it's a commander or something else. And we go back to our winning ways.
Ballers, hold up. We got a few sponsors we need to personally thank for here at Ballin and Burgundy. First, our guy Washington on the Daily Book Instagram and YouTube. Huge sponsor. We want to give our massive thanks out to them. You can follow Washington on the Daily, both on Instagram and on Twitter, WSH on the Daily. Our guy Tony, who's Pro Tech Sports Network. Huge thanks to him. I met up with him at the Commanders Vikings game. Huge thanks to him. Our guy Sanchez at On the Warpath podcast over on YouTube and on Instagram. And then finally, our guy Rio Robinson, Mr. Rambling with Rio himself, our newest sponsor, and a huge thanks to him. Met up with him at the Vikings Commanders game as well. Said thank you to him. Again, huge thanks. Again, all of their Instagrams and YouTubes are going to be down in the description. You guys go follow all of them. And again, one big thank you to Rio, Tony, Sanchez, Washington on the Daily for being sponsors of not only today's video, but Ballin and Burgundy as a podcast. Get back to work.
And now we return you to our regular scheduled program.
Yeah. But on the brighter side, we are going to do a little bit something different. Something we kind of got into, or at least I got into. We're going to do our own mid-season analysis on NFL teams right now. We're going into week 10. The Falcons and Panthers are playing as we speak, as we record. Horrible teams. But we're going into week 10 out of 18 weeks in the NFL. We are going to grade we're going to grade all 32 teams right now through the mid-season. So let's get into that. Let me pull that up. Need to zoom out. Alrighty. So I put the categories as follows. Super Bowl bound, because there are teams in the NFL that are prime to be in the Super Bowl. Contenders. So like you're right there. You'll be in the conversation. Average. So teams that are good, not great, but they're winning. Needs help, like us. Or an absolute time to reset. Justin, where do you want to start? Do you want to go in order of teams, or do you want to go in order of columns or rows?
It don't matter to me. I don't have a preference, brother.
I'm gonna start with Super Bowl bound. I've got 3 teams that go in Super Bowl bound.
All right, see what you got.
I've got Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Guys, I know. Hold up. Before you stab me with those pitchforks, I know you have. The Eagles are 8-0. Yes, they played all right teams, but they are a damn near complete team. Defense is good. Offense, they need help in the second half. They're a first half, second quarter team. But if they get the ball rolling in these second half games, they should be putting up 50 on teams. Not 30.
I would even call them. I have to disagree. I would put them as contenders because look at the team they versed. They're not wild teams. They were teams where a couple key players were hurt, were injured, were suspended, and they all scored mostly the first 2 quarters. I don't see them as contenders.
Okay.
I actually do have us beating the Eagles. Texans expose the Eagles. Delayed blitzes, quarterback blitzes. That killed Jalen Hurts, a quarterback spy. Teaching Young and Sweat, if Young plays, how to read that. The Texans ends were Jerry Hughes. That man read that perfectly.
Yeah.
He stayed at the quarterback at all times. As the linebacker, went for the running back. That's something we have to include this week for Monday Night Football. And yes, last Monday night game, we defeated an undefeated team was the Steelers. And you know what? They were never the same.
No. All right. I actually like that. I like that. I'm all with it. The other 2 teams coming out of the AFC. The Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs.
I agree with you there.
Buffalo, I think right now, are probably the favorites to win. Outside of Josh Allen getting hurt, and we wish nothing but the best, but Diggs, Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, great trio receiver. Stephon Diggs is top 5 receiver right now in the league, and I give him top 3 probably. Davis is a solid number 2. Some of these teams could use Davis as a number 1, let's be honest. Isaiah McKenzie is a speedster, especially on special teams. Defense with Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, Tim Settle, and then Von Miller. Everywhere Von Miller has gone, they've won a Super Bowl. Is Buffalo next? I'd say so.
Yeah, I actually do have them winning. That team, I have them better than the Eagles, even though the record.
Yeah,
know,
records, yeah. And the other team
complete
I
team.
Kansas City. Oh, good.
No, so they're another complete team.
Yeah, and then Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce. Is Andy Reid. Yes, their defense got worse. They lost Tyrann Mathieu. They lose, I think, another corner or safety. But they look good. Shockingly, they look good.
Yeah, they're starting to come together. I mean, they lost Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
He lands with the offense. But there was younger receivers, Juju, Sky Moore. They're getting to prove themselves now. They're running all these routes, they're doing all these extra trainings, so Kelce didn't have to carry him by himself.
Nope.
But they're getting really good, and that defense is getting to the quarterback now. So get ready to watch a good game.
And then the older guy in Marquez Valdez-Scantling coming over from Green Bay, a very silent receiver, putting up big numbers for Kansas City, like bailing them out on like 3rd downs. Like, he's helping in the way I don't think most people thought he was going to help. But give him credit. He's doing his magic. And another contender comes out of the AFC. Comes out of the AFC East. Call me overrated, call me overhyped. I'm going the Dolphins. I've got Miami as a contender right now.
I do too. Their O-line isn't the best, but they're doing enough to protect Tua.
Yeah.
Their 2 receivers, holy moly. Waddle and Hill are about to hit a humongous NFL record for yardage as a receiver duo.
Tyreek Hill is on pace to have over 2,000 yards as a receiver.
Scary.
With Tua. We all gave credit to Tua saying, hey, good athlete, good arm, but not accurate, especially as a lefty. He's showing you he's got the skills. Yes, it's Tyreek Hill, and he can make any play turn into a touchdown, as Stephen A. put it. But this is a deadly trio of Waddle, Hill, and Tua.
Yeah, it's insane. New head coach doing really, really good.
Yeah.
Put Tua in a position to win with getting Hill. And they got Bradley Chubb too.
They did get Bradley Chubb.
Trade deadline.
Yeah.
And that solidified their defense, and now they're starting to come together and prove everybody, don't forget about us.
Yep, they got Bradley Chubb. They also got Jeff Wilson from San Francisco. No reason.
Sneaky running back.
Very good running
Another weapon.
I think I have one. Do you have any more contenders? Because I could find one more. I think I could find 2 more.
Well, let's see. I don't truly think so. I mean, the Ravens possibly.
Ravens.
I mean, they always. They're always. I wouldn't call them average. Their offense doesn't.
Here, I'll go good, but
no, you're good.
Contenders. I'll go that. Average is a bit. That's on me. But we'll say good, but not contenders yet.
Yeah, I'd put the Ravens good, but not contenders.
Go there.
And I mean, but
I think the only other team I could see being a contender right now is either Minnesota or San Francisco.
I got to put the Vikings. Oh, that's right. I'd put Vikings as a contender because Cousins got a decent line. He's got okay weapons. Their
Yeah.
defense is pretty
Stepping up.
solid.
Stepping
Yeah.
up. I mean, Jay Jettas, yeah, it's Adam Thielen, but now you have TJ Hawkinson
To
and
killed
Dalvin
us.
Cook and Jay Jettas. You have number ones at each prime position. Dalvin Cook is a number one running back, despite what people say. Jay Jettas, top 5 receiver. TJ Hawkinson, top 10 tight end.
Yeah, that's no joke.
They got him for cheap. What was it? Was it a second and a third?
Yeah,
For
second.
Hawkinson, a conditional third and a conditional fourth.
Yeah, it's a steal. Into a rival too.
To a rival, and Detroit gave a first round pick like top 15 on TJ. I called it highway robbery for what they got.
Truly was. I mean, I get he needs paid soon, but still, that's still a win
Yeah.
for trade.
And then I'd say San Francisco, but they're not a contender. I'd say good, but not contenders. I think they're literally just a few pieces on offense, like another offensive lineman and a number 2 behind CMC, and get them some other safeties because they keep getting injured. They're falling like bees.
But their whole secondary seems to always get hurt. I mean, Jason Avant or
Is out for the
Verrett.
season. Verrett's out
I
for the
mean,
season.
yeah, that dude's had 2 ACL tears, 2
Yep.
MCL tears.
Yep.
That dude's hate to be the guy. I mean, I don't want to see anybody hurt or take money away from their family, but he needs to retire and be a coach because he's just hurting his body more than anything.
Yeah.
But you are right. I mean, they got Christian McCaffrey, who another weapon with Debo.
Debo, George Kittle, CMC, Brandon Ayuk. Like, I'm weird, I know. Good pieces around it. Good pieces around Jimmy G though.
Yeah. I mean, it's all gonna depend on Garoppolo's play.
Yeah.
For where the Niners go. But it's also going to depend on that defense. I mean, you got Boza, you got Warner. But those are the 2 big stars in that Niner defense.
Yeah. Definitely. I've got, for good, not contenders, I've got a few more. And I'll give my reasons why. So I've got Cincinnati, got Dallas, I've got the Jets,
Chargers, possibly.
I like the Chargers there. And I'm
maybe
Titans.
I wouldn't go Bucks. I go Titans. They've only lost 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, I was gonna be fishy. So Bengals, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst, defense playing pretty good. They've been a slow start, but they just went to the Super Bowl last year. I think they'll make a playoff run. Or playoffs. I think they'll make playoffs. Dallas is, I believe, 5-2, if not 6-2. They're gelling back to get Dak into play, and their defense is stout. Say what you want. Their defense is amazing.
Yeah, their defense is pretty good. I mean, their offense, I get they don't have all the weapons they want because everybody's getting healthy, unhealthy. Their own line play is not good. But their defense is what's keeping them alive right now.
Yeah.
And until somebody figures out a scheme or a play calling to slow their defense down, Dallas, they're good, but not contenders.
No, not yet. The Jets, like 6-2. They just beat Buffalo. Honestly, if they keep winning games, they might be contenders.
Agreed, but we got to see how Zach Wilson plays.
Yeah,
he is probably the biggest
question mark
aspect of a question.
Yeah,
that's holding the team back. Like, I'm not going to say he's a terrible quarterback. He's a young guy, but if they had just some veteran guy who's not elite, just an average guy, they probably could.
Yeah,
go all the way.
Yep. Chargers have looked okay. I had them going. I had them winning the AFC West. I think Kansas City now pulls away with that lead. Chargers, Jay Herbo, Gerald Everett, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, who can play the guitar. Good offense. Defense needs to step up. But I think they're a piece or two away from being real contenders.
Agreed. I mean, they lost J.C. Jackson. They picked him up. Same thing of what we did. Ooh, the best cornerback on the market. Grab him. But J.C. Jackson's like William Jackson III. You have to play man to man. The guy can't play zone to save his life. And that hurt him. Their defense tremendously. And the Keenan Allen's hamstring, it's a weekly, day-to-day thing that's hurting their offense. But I do have him. He did good pick on good but not contenders.
Yep.
A few pieces away.
They are. And then Tennessee. Tannehill's not the future. Let's be real. They're good but not contenders because A, their defense can step up when it's needed. And King Henry is the reason why they're in this column, this row.
Yeah, he's Henry's actually 28, and you know what that means for a running back. You're starting to climb. So he could be a trade piece for next year's rebuild. Because I do think the Titans will have to rebuild.
Titans will have to rebuild because they can't get receivers. Robert Woods, not healthy right now. Nick Westbrook, something not healthy. Their first round pick in Traylon Burks, not healthy. It is literally King Henry and maybe their tight end. And that's it. They're a few pieces away, but they're still good. I think they'll win the AFC the AFC South. It's not saying much.
Nope.
Need some help. I'm going to put in a few teams, but they might shock you. Cleveland, the Rams, the Raiders, the Bucks, Giants, the Saints, the Packers, the Lions.
I'd actually put us. I'd actually put the Panthers because the Panthers are an offense away. Their defense is pretty elite. It's just their offense hold them back.
I have offense as a whole. I have Panthers as a whole reset. Because they're going to have to release some guys in the offseason, and they're going to have to pay people to stay versus go.
Very true.
Cleveland, it's Jacoby Brissett. We'll see what Deshaun Watson brings to this offense, but it's going to take him some time. The Rams, offensive line play is horrible. Defense isn't playing as well as we thought. And Allen Robinson is a non-factor on this offense, which is a sentence I did not think I was going to say in the year 2022.
Agreed. We all thought he'd be the next best receiver addition free agency, but we're all wrong.
I seriously thought he would be the piece that says, okay, Odell's hurt. Let's get Allen Robinson to replace him. Not having Van Jefferson is hurting them too, because he's a solid number 3 and a speedster. But the Rams need some O-line help, and defense needs to step up a little bit. Raiders look awful, but not awful enough to reset.
Yeah, what is up with the Raiders? You got Carr, his best buddy, and Adams, and they just can't compete. I don't know what is it about the Raiders.
You have Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller. Now, Darren Waller did get hurt. He's now on IR, and I believe
Hunter
Renfrow is on IR. But you still have Josh Jacobs, you still have Devontae Adams. You still have pieces around you that will step up. Defense has never been their strong suit, and they just got rid of their safety in Jonathan Abrams. who the Packers picked up.
Very surprising move by getting rid of Abrams.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, stupid move because you could have got
Stupid
something out of him.
Yep. Right now, it's play calling and O-line work. Same for us, but for that, we're at least winning games. They're choking games horrendously. Tampa Bay, need I say more? You lose to the Panthers 17-3, but then you beat the Rams. Brady is in his own head with this divorce. He's in his own head. Mike Williams dropping passes is a crazy sentence, and defense isn't stepping up.
You mean Mike Evans?
Yeah, that's Mike Evans.
Oh, I thought you said Williams. I was Mike Williams played
Oh.
for the Bucks a long time ago.
Well, I mean, all our receivers are dropping passes at this rate. Williams, Godwin, Julio, Scotty Tuhati Miller. Giants? Now, listen to me. I know the Giants are good right now. Their defense is stepping up, and their offense is surrounded by Saquon. But that's why they need help. Daniel Jones will not be here next season. And they don't have a solid number one.
I don't know about that statement.
I
Daniel
say that,
Jones.
I bet.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead and say why you say that.
I only say that because, yes, he has had 2 or 3 coaches in his career. It's the fumbling and the turnovers that keep getting them. And they don't have a number one receiver either. Which, yes, isn't on him, but he should be stepping up and saying, hey, I need a guy that's gonna help me. I had an inkling in my mind that New York should have traded for DJ Moore. Didn't happen, of course, but that would have brought a number one-esque mentality to a receiving core that's not filled with a single number one. But that's just me.
I don't know. Daniel Jones, their coach put him in a position to succeed. Right now, he's succeeding with not even a number one receiver, maybe a best number 2 receiver and a bunch of number 3s to 4s. But he's succeeding right now. You're not going to sit there and let him go. They built the whole offense around Daniel Jones. You're not going to sit there and give him a year. I mean, what are they, like 5-3?
They're 5-3,
6.
right? I think they're 5-3 right now, 6-2, I think. But
yeah,
to me, I don't think Daniel Jones is the answer. And I think it's gonna be this year or next year. He's gonna be out the door.
well, I don't think it would be next year. He's winning. Like I said, they built that scheme around him. He is Giants' future. He's winning them games. They just got to build around Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Like if you give another receiver or two, a little more better O-line, they can go places. Hate to be that guy to say it, but they can go places.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Saints, it's Jameis Winston, and it's Michael Thomas, and Alvin Kamara not being there. They need an actual quarterback. Jameis Winston is good. I'll give him credit, but he's not going to be your answer. He's not going to be the reason why you win games. He'll be the reason why you're staying in a game. Alvin Kamara not being back and forth injury is not helping. And now Michael Thomas is out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and they're going to get worse. If Kamara's still up for the trade this offseason, Kamara could be traded.
Gone.
Michael Thomas has probably played his last down with the Saints. He can't even see the field.
Nope. Now they do have Jarvis Landry was a good veteran pickup, and they have Chris Olave, which I think will turn into their number one. But they're a quarterback, a receiver number 2, and some O-line play away. Defense is balling right now, but it's not helping either. It's their offense.
Yeah. I'd also add another linebacker with DeMarco Davis.
Oh, yeah.
Getting old, 35 and 34.
Yeah. Yep. Green Bay. Where do we start with Green Bay?
Look at everywhere. Rumor has it Rodgers wants to retire.
Yeah.
Can't land this guy. Can't land the poor dude a weapon.
Nope.
Like they struck out for Brandon Cooks. They wouldn't give the extra pick for Brandon Cooks.
Nope.
They offered a first-round pick and a third-round pick for DJ Moore. That was a strikeout. They tried trading for Chase Claypool, just a second-round pick.
Yep.
Didn't get him.
Didn't
So
work.
they just sat here and forced Rodgers to play with a bunch of scrubs who
Yep.
just can't
It's not
catch a cold at all to
Nope.
save their lives.
Nope. Christian Watson's hurt. Romeo Doubs keeps dropping passes. Randall Cobb is so old. And Alan Lazard isn't a number one. I'm sorry.
Cobb's hurt, though, I thought.
And Cobb's hurt. I'll give Alan Lazard credit. He is trying his best. But he is a number two.
Yeah, I bet if Cam Sims was over there, he might turn into a number two receiver, maybe a number one.
Maybe
that dude probably
knows?
better. He's probably better than all the Packers receivers on that roster. And he could probably put up some good points. Hate to see the guy waste his talent on our bench. And a lot of fans are going to not like me for saying that, but it's God's honest truth. I would have at least got a fourth-round pick for Cam Sims and Donami Brown.
Yeah. I don't know. Lions, for me, it's the same reason with the Giants outside of their receivers. Jared Goff, I don't think it's going to be the answer. And their secondary needs some help. Jeff Okuda stepped up. I didn't expect this from Okuda. Props to him. He's stepping up. He's locking up Jettas. He's locking up Terry, locking up CeeDee Lamb. But Goff's not the answer. Amon St. Brown is their number one. They kind of need a number two. It's not going to be DJ Chark. Although they do have Jameson Williams waiting in the wind, he is still coming off of a major ACL injury dating back before the draft.
Yeah, it's very worrying about that.
Dating back to right before or during the national championship against Georgia, had that ACL. No, it was during the national championship game.
Yeah, he was he got hurt like the second quarter.
Because they had John Mechie Jr., John Mechie, the second or third, who's on the Texans. He was already hurt. Jameson Williams got hurt on a beautiful route and pass, by the way, like chef's kiss. Catches it, gets hurt. So we're talking, what, January of this year? February of this year? We're sitting in the month of November. So let's call it January 15th, relatively. We're sitting here as recording 10th of November, zero play. Zero mentions, really, of Jameson. That's going to hurt.
Yeah, this guy, D-Jax Jr., is what I called him. D-Jax 2.0. He had the elite speed, deep threat ability, can break any play, good hands. I mean, this kid probably won't play this year. They're probably being safe. Yeah. But Jared Goff isn't a terrible guy. Their O-line play is getting very consistent. Even though they have two of the best tackles in the game, their guard play ain't that good.
Yeah.
They could use another weapon. Williams was supposed to be that weapon, but he got hurt. And their defense, they're getting way better than what they were. I think they're going to just improve next offseason.
Oh, absolutely. I think an underrated player they drafted, Malcolm Rodriguez, the linebacker.
That dude's the beast. Watching him play.
All credit to him. He's making the most out of Detroit. It's not a sentence you think he'd say in 2022. But props to him. There's nothing but the best. I hope he has a good career. On to us. We need help. O-line, corners, linebackers, quarterback.
Yeah, we're back. We're back to that.
Back to square one.
We need help. Yeah. Wentz isn't the answer, guys. They hate to tell you. We were all raving about him. Something about him holding the ball too long and making terrible reads is killing him and killing his career. Even back with Philly, he was a little faster throwing the ball, but not no more.
Nope. If this was 2017 MVP season Wentz, I'd feel fine. But Carson's not the answer. Taylor is the short-term answer right now. He is. He's the reason why he's working is because he can run. He can run, and he has a damn near impeccable connection with Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, and bottom line, next quarterback has to be mobile. Has to be mobile. We can't have another pocket passer. He has to be fast enough to get out the pocket, go for 5-10 yards, call it a day.
Yep. Sam Howell might be the future. I think if we go into, let's say, week 14, week 15, and we're what are we saying, that 4-5, 6-10, 6-9. I try Howell. I would try Howell out against who do we have that time? Houston, Cleveland. I think that's who we play with in those weeks. I test him.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line, you have this young kid.
Yep.
We all know. First off, we all know we got out of Wentz. Not it. We all know we're getting out of Taylor Heineke. Very, very pretty connection with Terry McLaurin and his legs. It's time to see what Sam Howell has. Preseason, he wowed me. I've never seen a quarterback, scramble like that and dodging tackles and out of the sacks and all that.
Yep.
You have to, at some point this season, give him the car keys and say, this is your team the last couple of weeks. You have to show me what you have. And if Sam looks very promising, don't you dare go for a quarterback.
Yeah.
Just sit there and build around the man.
Yeah.
There's no point in drafting a quarterback,
No.
Because you all know what happened with Joe Montana and Steve Young. You get two elite guys. And
Yep.
I'm not saying Sam Howell is neither or will be an elite guy. I mean, he could be. We'd all hope he is. But, don't pull that move.
Yeah.
Drafting quarterbacks galore because just build around the kid.
Just build around him. I'm going to switch up something in needs help because I realized I missed a few teams. I'm going to move New York to good. I forgot to include it. Arizona, Denver, and Seattle. Arizona for the play calling. I think Cliff Kingsbury is on his way, and defense has stepped up. The Broncos' offense is anemic as hell.
Russell Wilson is a joke.
Russell Wilson looks horrible this season, and I think Pete Carroll had a point about keeping the superhero ball so limited.
Very, very true. And it makes me wonder, was Russell Wilson really an elite guy, or was it Pete Carroll's play calling and mentor mentality towards Russ?
Yeah.
Because,
the Seahawks, well, think about this. The Seahawks are 6-3 with Geno Smith.
Yeah, a guy. First off, 2013 comes out of West Virginia. A great kid, good prospect.
Like
it was one of the years where one of the worst draft classes we've seen.
Yeah.
In a while. Didn't produce a lot of stars.
Nope.
Just maybe 3 or 4, if that. But Geno gets in a fight. Wasn't his fault. Got punched in the face in the Jets locker room. That's who drafted him. Yep. And was just never the same. Got a couple starts here and there, but he goes to the Seahawks. He probably has the best O-line he's ever had. He has probably the best 2 weapons between Lockett and DK he's ever had. And he's got weapons. He's got an O-line. He's got an okay-ish defense. You're just letting that man cook.
Which is the weird thing is, we went to the season saying Seahawks have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. They're one of the quietly best O-lines in the league for no reason. The other weapon, who I think was the biggest steal offensively in the draft, Kenneth Walker II.
He was a steal. In my
running
opinion.
back out of Michigan State, who I think for the past 3 games has a touchdown and 100 yards each game. He's made NFL history with something as a rookie.
Yeah.
Who had the Seahawks 6-3 atop the AFC or atop the NFC West being this good. I might put Seattle in good but not contenders. I'm like this close.
Yeah, they're close. And the only reason why I say I wouldn't is just the inconsistent play
Yeah.
of Geno Smith at times.
I like that we're going consistent because I forgot about Jacksonville.
Ooh.
They're not reset because I think you have good pieces in Lawrence and Travis Etienne, good pieces on defense, but they're still not gelling.
No.
Doug Peterson is a Super Bowl winning head coach. Give the man his flowers, give the man his due. He has won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback and not the best weapons. And he was the head coach. I give him his credit, give him his flowers. Jacksonville's not quite that.
No, I mean,
they're a true number one receiver away, a true tight end.
well, they just got that receiver, Calvin Ridley, who's still suspended over the dumbest reason in the world.
Yeah,
he's suspended a whole year.
Oh, he's suspended indefinitely.
Yeah,
not even here indefinitely. As of right now, since he's suspended, they don't have a number one receiver. Evan Ingram is a serviceable tight end, and their O-line isn't really blocking all that well, and defense isn't helping their issue.
Nope.
So they need pieces, and that's why honestly I have them here at the bottom of it. And honestly, I can move some of these teams around in this category, but I'm leaving the way they are. I think this kind of perfect. Probably the more complete team, less complete team. That's how I put it. Reset. Atlanta. Actually, Carolina. And I'm gonna go in order from worst to best. Carolina, Chicago, Indy, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Houston, New England.
Panthers, they just got to rebuild. They're already said all their players are almost all guaranteed to be traded or out the door for whoever the next coach is, which, who knows our next coach? It could be Sean Payton. It could be some other coach in college. Who knows who their next coach would be?
Who knows?
But their offense, they have weapons. They have DJ Moore. They have a couple other guys.
But that's
they're good.
Like DJ Moore is their number one, but that's all they really have. They don't have CMC anymore. They don't have Robbie Anderson anymore.
No, but you got these other receivers step up,
Oh yeah.
Which they have stepped up. That what's his name played with the Jaguars. They Panthers got this year.
Laviska Shenault.
Yeah, he stepped up pretty well.
Yeah.
Denami Bird looking pretty solid.
Yeah.
Another good guy.
Yep. I think based on roster and gameplay, Carolina is probably the worst team in the league right now. Chicago's in that category, but they went out and got him probably a number one in Claypool. They have a good tight end in Cole Kmet. Give him credit. O-line needs a lot of help, and defense needs to rebuild. Indy, O-line needs help. They fired Frank Reich. So play calling needs to need help. Defense needs to step back up. Atlanta, shockingly, is in the race. Like, if I think about a category between needs help and reset, Atlanta would be there. But you're playing the Marcus Mariota. You're grooming Desmond Ridder to what he should be, and get him a few receivers and a true running back, not Cordell Patterson. I think you're good. Pittsburgh, such a weird spot. Actually, I'm gonna move them up to needs help. Pittsburgh, O-line help. O-line help.
It's the whole entire offense from
Yeah.
the O-line. Definitely the quarterback plays has been terrible. Between Pickett and Mitch. I get Pickett's a rookie, but Mitch has looked awful.
Yeah.
Their running back, the running back core's okay. I wouldn't even call him good because Harrison having the
Harris
best
is
year.
a great running back.
He is, but he's just been inconsistent talking to a couple Steeler fans.
Yeah.
And even that receiving core, they're Mr. Drops, is what one of the Steeler friends.
Yeah, Deontay
have.
Johnson, George Pickens. George Pickens was a quiet pick too. I give him credit for George Pickens. But I agree. And then weapons wise, I think they're good. Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Pat Freiermuth. I think you're good there. You can build an offense around that. Quarterback,
you could.
You could.
You could, but you might need another veteran guy.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't trust some of their hands if I'm a coach trying to build.
True. Houston has a star in Dameon Pierce, the running back, flat out baller.
Marshawn Lynch 2.0 question mark?
Like I'm a Florida Gator fan, and I miss Dameon Pierce. And Houston's never had a great O-line these past few years, but he's making it look easy to cut through these blocks. Like he'll put a shoulder down and bring the defender with him for like 3 yards. But that's kind of all they have going for them.
Yeah, Mills. I don't think Mills is their guy. I mean, a lot of people in the organization, rumors have it, think Mills could be their guy. But first off, their offense is very sluggish. They lack weapons. Brandon Cooks, he already complaining of a wrist, which is BS. He just wants out of there.
Yeah,
Nico Collins. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's ticked. Nico Collins has been hurt. They've had a bunch of guys step up, like 4th, 5th string guys that nobody's heard of. But Pierce is their only bright spot on that offense.
Yeah. There is there's a guy they drafted out of Bama who isn't playing this season.
It's Mechie.
It's John Mechie, the third, I believe.
Yes, he has leukemia. He's still battling.
Yep. Wish him nothing but the best. Prayers up for you, brother. I hope you're gonna make it. You're gonna do great. You're gonna get through this.
Yep, keep winning the battle, brother.
Win the battle. And for all of you who are going through sickness, who aren't feeling well, you guys will get through this. You will get better. Please, better things are on the other side. He's got to fight through it. We're praying for all of you out there. Him and Brandon Cooks could be a good duo. It just got to get them gelled together and a good quarterback. I've got Houston taking a quarterback in the draft. I don't have them taking Will Anderson, the defender. That's me. Patriots. Some of y'all will yell at me, whether it's on Instagram or in the comments section. And I want y'all in the comments to rate this list and to tell us where we went wrong. Patriots. No number 1 receiver. O-line hasn't helped. This QB controversy with Zappi and Jones.
They don't even have a number 2 receiver either.
Oh no,
it's
or
bunch
number 2
number.
receiver. That's true.
It's bunch number.
They might have a number 2.
I wouldn't even call it that.
Maybe. And defense is helping, but they're not impactful.
No.
They're not gonna wow you.
It's not like they had, the old Jamie Collins and all them older Patriot guys who won many Super Bowls,
Yeah.
You don't have those guys anymore. You got a bunch of younger guys who have to step up, You lost JC Jackson. Sounds like Patriots might sit there and say Chargers. He never fits your system. We want him back. Maybe he'll revive his career, but
maybe. But
they have a lot. They have a lot to even look at. Mac Jones. Do you want Mac Jones still, or should we call it the tides of Mac Jones? He hasn't proved or looked good at all. They have a lot of things to look at, and we'll see if Bill Belichick, hopefully, he still coaches. We'll see him his first ever rebuild since before the Patriots era or Brady's era.
I mean, out of this reset column, the Patriots are probably the more complete team. I could throw Atlanta in that conversation because their defense has stepped up a little bit. But guys, this is our list. Where do you guys think? I mean, you guys can say A, B, C, D, F if you want, but I mean, I've got them Super Bowl bound, contenders, good but not contenders, needs help, reset. Justin, what do you think about this list? I know you had a lot of input this, but any change you might want to see?
No, not truly. I mean, everybody's going to yell at us for making the Eagles just be contenders, not Super Bowl bound.
Yeah.
I don't think Philly has shown me enough as not even just a Commander fan, as just an NFL fan. I mean, you almost lose to the Texans. If the Texans had a good quarterback, better than David Mills, you would have lost.
Yeah.
The whole NFL finally figured out how to beat Philly. Just about.
Yeah.
Nothing else on this list to me is questionable. Everybody on this list to me is where they should stick to. It's pretty fair.
Yeah.
And this being a commander-based pod, we're not going to be 100% biased to our team. We seriously do need help, and we have a lot to look at this offseason, from whether we're firing from the owner's aspect to whether we're firing Ron and them to future quarterback play and all that.
Yep. Yeah, I think the only team I could throw in as a contender is Baltimore, but I think they just need a little bit more help, and then they'll be good.
They need a number one wideout. It's what they truly need.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying? They're signing Deshaun Jackson, who's aged like a bad tomato, hasn't helped? Are you saying that
he had one catch and hurt his hamstring?
Yeah,
let's be real here.
He'll be in stride. My ham, like you can see, just flying off the distance. But yeah. So we got 2 Super Bowl bound, 3 contenders, 8 good. We have 4, 8, 12, 13 needs help, and 6 resets. I like the list.
Yeah, I give it about A-.
Yeah.
If I had to grade the list.
Yeah, I think you probably could flip, Philly here and put Baltimore up. It's probably those 2 minors we could throw up there, but I think everything else is good. I think everything else is good.
Agreed.
Guys, I want to see on the comment section saying, is this a Stevens A list? Is this an A list for BIB? Is this a bad list? If y'all think that the Bucks are going to be contenders, or if you think Seattle is going to be a contender, or if you think that the Vikings need help, we want to see all of it down in the description.
Agreed.
But this
we're
is
also
good.
We're also going to make this an Instagram post too.
We will make this a post. We might black out some of these teams here. Like, wait, where'd they have some of these teams at? You never know what we're gonna do. But I want to see y'all down. I want to see every single viewer to be down there saying, "Man, this was a great list." Or if you think it was a horrible list, tell me why. If you think this was an A+ list, a D+ list, a B list, because I can make that joke, a C list, we want to see it. Oh, I'm making puns. Don't worry. We want to see y'all down there, because we'll definitely interact with y'all.
Agreed.
But that is our mid-season analysis, guys. This is our mid-season tier list. Like we said, we got 5 really good teams, 8 solids, 13 guys that need help, and 6 of y'all that need to go back to the drawing board. Get back to square one. But that will end that. Anything else you want to add, Justin?
No, we hope to hear from y'all. Hope to see the comments, your opinions.
Absolutely.
Because everybody in this world has different opinions. But we appreciate you guys watching us, following,
Yep.
supporting. We appreciate all that. We do it for you guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. We love and appreciate every single one of you, whether you're one of the few subscribers on Instagram or you're one of the great followers on Instagram. We love and support each one of y'all. I think we're gonna wrap things up here on this Thursday night before it gets too late. And I think that's all the big news. The bombshell news from the Attorney General, the horrific spokesperson thing, and our midseason analysis. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's about it.
Alrighty. Well, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell that tells you every time we make a new video or we just post. We'll make some posts for you guys. Go ahead over Instagram. Go follow Justin. Well, go follow Justin. Go follow myself. Follow the pod. All the links down in the descriptions. Huge thanks to our sponsors. One more time. We said it before. We'll say it again. Thanks to our sponsors. All their information down the bottom. I think that's going to about wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, guys. We'll come at y'all again, whether it's on Instagram, YouTube Live, or just a post about what we think Philly's gonna look like. And we're gonna keep y'all up to date on everything else. But don't forget to stay ballin'. We'll see you guys.
Yep, see you guys.